This is your danger. When you have a bunch of successes in a row, you have a much harder time accepting losses because you've won. When you're having a hot streak and you have all positive days, you're always able to get it back. You take a loss, but then you take another win. And then the danger is you get a couple losses, you're not willing to accept them, and you go, well, I've been so hot lately, I'll just take another trade. Hey everyone, welcome to the Anarchy Podcast. 99% of traders will never make consistent profits. So why listen to the 99% of advice? On this show, we're going to challenge some of the most hallowed and repeated tenets of trading, and in doing so, set you up to succeed where others fail. Spoiler alert, we don't have a secret strategy or magic wand that will let you skip out on the hard work of learning the markets, but we can debunk viewpoints that are holding you back. If that sounds good to you, come join us.
Good morning and welcome back. It's been a long time since I think we've done an in-person podcast. It's kind of funny. Levi and I were just talking about this yesterday. The fact that I am now in the good old US of A, and we are having a harder time connecting to record these episodes now that I'm literally just a couple hours behind Levi than when we had a 12-hour time difference. No idea how that is. Still trying to figure that one out, but that's okay. I digress. We're back. We had our first snow yesterday. I didn't even know how to scrape off my vehicle. I don't have an ice scraper yet, so I walked out this morning. My car was coated in a sheet of ice, and I'm trying to desperately try to crack myself out of there so that I can drive to work this morning. So it was fun, enjoying the cold weather. The kids are loving the snow, and so yeah, just been really fun. But today, I was thinking that we should discuss something that Levi and I are currently going through is how to stay motivated, how to stay careful, how to stay intentional well on hot streaks, right? So anyone who's been listening to us for a while has heard Levi and I talk about how to stay motivated when you're sucking wind, because we do that a lot. But Levi and I are both currently on quite a long hot streak, and we're doing really well trading. And so we kind of wanted to address some of the challenges that come along with winning, and also maybe some of the strategies that can be used to mitigate some of those challenges, some of those shortcomings that may trip you up if you're not careful. Levi, what's up?
Hey Jordan, just enjoying the beautiful weather. It's been really freezing here. I'm in upstate New York right now. It's been really cold lately, but having some beautiful days. So the question of how to stay like on target when things are going well is it's a much different it's a vastly different skill than staying on target when things are going poorly. Because I think when things are going poorly, you tend to buckle down more. You tend to kind of like, oh, something's going wrong. Let me read my journal. Let me ratchet down my, make sure I'm not over leveraging. Let me make sure like you check everything to make sure everything's all nice and tight and good. When you're winning, I think my main struggle, and I think a lot of people will have something very similar, is that you tend to get very loosey-goosey. Because when you're winning and everything's working, like you can't do anything wrong, essentially, you start taking you can start drifting. I talked about this last week in the need to recalibrate consistently because drift is very common. I think it's the norm in day trading. You tend to drift away from your core abilities, but that's where I find I tend to mess up, and you might be the same where I tend to get very loose in the trades I take and start and stop because you're winning all the time. You start taking more trades and you start taking less A plus setups just because you're winning all the time. And that can come back. Well, it's not can. I think that will bite you eventually.
Yeah, I fully agree. And this is something that I actually saw and had to stamp myself out of quickly just a couple weeks ago. If you're been on a huge hot streak, the temptation, as you said, Levi, is to take more trades, or let's be honest, to fudge your rules. Because let's say your rule is I'm only going to take two losses in a row. Well, if you're on a hot streak where you've won for days or weeks, or in my case, a couple months where you have a couple months of just solid performance, the temptation is, okay, I lost two in a row, but I know that I've been taking these trades. I'm just going to take one more and then I'll be break even for the day, right? Like at least that's my mentality. And I did that once or twice, and it bit me in the butt, right? Now, fortunately, I'd have safeguards in place. I honestly have an automatic lockout on my funded account just to keep me from doing stupid crap like that. Um, but still, it's that temptation that I think is very easy. The other temptation I think is to, as soon as you have a funded account, to add another, account in the background and just go like, I'm scaling up now, baby. I'm just gonna, as soon as you win one, you're gonna add another one, and now you're trading two accounts. And I think that mentality can be dangerous to your long-term success, because it's not, again, it's starting to focus on making money, which, as we've said over and over again, if you're trying to focus on making money, you're never going to be a successful day trader, because you have to be focusing on the process of taking the trades.
Man, hitting me where it hurts, Jordan. Hit me where it hurts.
I'm talking to you,
The
Levi.
whole adding an extra account back right after you pass the first. Yeah, no,
No, no,
you're
no.
absolutely right.
I'm no, no. Full confession. I did the same thing. Blew that challenge account, and now I'm not. Now I'm not doing that, because I said I'm focusing on my funded account and just building equity on that. Because, yeah.
Yeah.
So just full disclosure, I'm talking to myself as well. I did that, and now I'm not. So I am calling you out slightly, but I'm calling myself out at the same time.
I think everybody does that. But that is, I think, the main danger. I think if we were going to rank all the dangers of having a really successful hot streak, you nailed it on the head. And I'm just begging anybody listening, this is your danger. The danger is, yeah, when you have a bunch of successes in a row, you have a much harder time accepting losses, right? Because you've won. I just saw a post on X the other day. Somebody had posted his profit losses for the month, and each day is green, 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 like $200, $300, $400, $200, $300. Then it's one day at the end of the month, 5 grand down. And it's like, and that's the danger, because when you're having a hot streak and you're having all positive days, you're always able to get it back. You take a loss, but then you take another win. And then the danger is you get a couple losses, you're not willing to accept them, and you go, well, I've been so hot lately, I'll just take another trade. And I've done that once, but um, some people, you can quickly blow an account, and like very quickly, because you're not willing to take losses. Yeah, that's the big danger. So you have to be so careful about this. Write yourself a rule. Yeah, lock yourself out if you can. A lot of trading software allow you to set a daily loss limit. Set that. It will lock you out of your account if you lose more than that, and that's a really, really good tool to use.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing I would add is find someone to keep you accountable, right? So I've got my trading coach. She's an incredible trading coach. Like, honestly, I'm trying to convince her to become a trading coach, because she's not a trader, but she has tons of experience now with the psychology of, dealing with trade, me being a trader, and, following Levi in my chat as well. And I actually have her in a trading chat with me and Levi, because we kind of use her to kind of call us stupid occasionally when it's needed. But yeah, having a trading coach, to, kind of work through the psychology. It's like, well, why did you take that extra challenge account right now? Do you think that's the right decision? And, having someone to ask those hard questions, because as traders, we love to, as you said, Levi, like, we love to build ourselves up in mind. It's like, I'm invincible, or I'm on a hot streak, or now I passed one funded account. Now I can have two. How much money I can make if I have five? And that's missing the main point again, because the main point right now, especially as you are in the early years of trading, I'm talking in the first 8 years of trading, is building up your skills, not necessarily building up your equity or trying to make a bunch of money. It's simply building the skills that at one day will be able to transfer over to making consistent profits in the market.
Trading will bring out the worst in you. We should do a whole entire podcast episode on this, because I've been thinking about this a lot, where it brings out the worst in you. Like, you don't think you're impatient, and then you realize how impatient you are. You don't think you're greedy, and then you know, and then you see how greedy you are. You don't know how like proud you are until like it does bring out the worst in you, because it is so it's neighborhood gambling. It's not quite, but it's very close, and you can very easily make it gambling. Um, it's in
It
the
is gambling.
same ballpark.
It is
Yeah,
gambling if you don't approach it correctly.
Very much so. And so it brings it can ruin people very quickly and it can bring out the worst in you. And that's why having somebody, yeah, close to you who can kind of mentor you and push you through, even if they're not a trader themselves. I love your example with Maria because she's been really helpful for you. Um, just because even though she's not a trader, she understands now the psychology of it. She understands what you're going through as far as what you're thinking and is able to keep you on track. And that's really helpful. If you don't have somebody who can day trade with you, find somebody who can kind of share the experience with nonetheless, and that can be really helpful.
Yeah, yeah, it's very true. No one, like Maria has no idea how to trade. She literally has no idea. She doesn't even know what a candle is, right? Like she doesn't know what a candlestick is. She doesn't know anything about that. But she does understand how the mentality works. And yeah, just finding someone that can just coach you through your feelings. It has been, it's been super beneficial in my trading, trading career, taking me from being a not a trader to, getting payouts and making, it's along the journey of becoming a successful trader. I wouldn't call myself a successful trader yet, but we are well on our way to that successful trader journey. And you only do that by safeguarding yourselves both when you're losing and what even more so when you're winning. Because let's be honest, if you're just losing all the time, that's depressing. There is nothing more depressing than having, as you said, Levi, having an account consistently up day after day, week after week, and then blowing it because of absolute foolishness after after that, after one day of bad trading.